Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. In the art of listening, we open ourselves to the stories, emotions, and experiences of others, creating connections far deeper than mere conversation. True listening is the doorway to empathy, and it allows us to see the world through someone else's eyes, to hear their silent struggles, and to walk with them on their path. Listening doesn't just happen through the ears. It's an act of presence, of fully being there in a moment, without distraction, ready to receive the other person as they are, without judgment or agenda. It's an act of trust, of building the kind of connection where the other person knows they can speak and be heard. The great majority of us do not listen with the intent to understand. We listen with the intent to reply, and that reply often reflects more of our own needs than the needs of the person speaking. When we listen in this way, we miss the opportunity to see the world as it is, through the eyes of another. But when we truly listen with empathy, we create the conditions for understanding, healing, and growth. Deep listening is the kind of listening that can relieve the suffering of another person. You can call it compassionate listening. You listen with only one purpose, to help him or her to empty his or her heart. Even if the other person says things that are full of wrong perceptions, of bitterness, you are still capable of continuing to listen with compassion. Because you know that listening like that, you give the person a chance to suffer less. Being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they are almost indistinguishable. Listening with your heart, without the need to interrupt or judge, is the greatest act of love. It requires patience, humility, and the willingness to put aside your own agenda to truly be present with another human being. In doing so, you create a space where love and understanding can flourish. One of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. Listening goes beyond hearing words. It involves being fully present with an open mind and heart. To listen is to honor another person's thoughts and feelings, to acknowledge their experience, and to offer them the gift of your full attention. There is a difference between listening and waiting for your turn to speak. Listening is active. It requires us to set aside our own thoughts, opinions, and agendas in order to truly hear the other person. It is a practice of humility and selflessness, a willingness to let go of our ego and focus entirely on the needs of the person speaking. Through this practice, we create the foundation for trust, understanding, and connection. Listening is one of the simplest, yet most profound acts of kindness. It says to the other person, "You matter. Your story matters. I am here for you." This small gesture of offering your presence can have the most far-reaching impact. It is through listening that we grow wise, not only in knowledge, but in the understanding of the human spirit. A leader must be a listener, for in listening, we gain the insights and perspectives necessary to lead with compassion, fairness, and vision. Listening is the beginning of understanding, and understanding is the foundation of true wisdom.